Let's look at the structure and function of the GI system. Hippocrates once said that all disease begins in the gut. The gut is related to every body system you see here on the left side of the chart. Please take a moment to read all the benefits received by these systems from the digestive system. For example, cardiovascular system. The blood supplies digestive organs with oxygen and processed nutrients. The endocrine system allows hormones to help regulate secretion in the digestive glands and accessory organs. We may not think about it, but our digestive system is continuously at work. People seldom appreciate all the complex tasks it performs. For example, when you eat an apple, you may enjoy the way that the apple tastes as you chew it, but in the hours that follow, you don't notice that your digestive system is absorbing it and digesting the nutrients and vitamins from the apple. And by the time any waste material is excreted, the body has approximated all of it that it can use from the apple. So take appreciation of your GI system and let's look further. The easiest way to understand the digestive system is to divide its organs into two main categories. The first group is the organs that make up the alimentary canal. Accessory digestive organs comprise the second group and are very critical for orchestrating the breakdown of food and the assimilation of nutrients. The accessory digestive organs, despite their name, are very critical as well to the function of the digestive system, and we see those here as being the teeth, tongue, salivary glands, liver, pancreas, and gallbladder. The intrinsic innervation of much of the alimentary canal is provided by the enteric nervous system. This runs from the esophagus to the anus and contains 100 million motor, sensory, and interneurons from the peripheral nervous system. The extrinsic innervations, as we see here, are provided in the autonomic nervous system, which include both sympathetic and parasympathetic nerves. So in general, the sympathetic activation, which would be the fight or fight response, it restricts the activity of these enteric neurons and thereby it decreases GI secretion and motility. But in contrast, the parasympathetic activation, the rest and digest response, increases the GI secretion and motility by stimulating neurons of the enteric nervous system. So both the intrinsic and the extrinsic are related. In the digestive system processes and regulation, we have regulatory mechanisms that are neural and endocrine regulatory mechanisms that work to maintain optimal conditions in the lumen needed for digestion and absorption. These mechanisms stimulate digestive activity by way of mechanical and chemical activity and are controlled both extrinsically and intrinsically. Here we see the digestive system and all of its benefits. We also see 6 activities that are involved in the process of regulation and digestion of the food. Also the direction of the food as well. We have ingestion, motility, mechanical digestion, chemical digestion, absorption, defecation. So here we see in depth the alimentary canal, which we discussed in the earlier slide. And we have also showing here deglution, which is called swallowing. The esophagus is a soft palate. It rises to close off the nasopharynx. The larynx elevates and the epiglottis folds over the glottis. The upper esophageal sphincter is made up of skeletal muscle, and this regulates the movement of food from the pharynx to the esophagus. The lower esophageal sphincter is made up of smooth muscle It controls the passage of food from the esophagus to the stomach. We also have esophageal wall cells. They secrete mucus that eases the passage of the food bolus. But it all starts in the mouth with the teeth and the saliva, the teeth being mechanical digestion and saliva being the chemical digestion. The pharynx also has a lot of these benefits here involved in digestion. So here we have the stomach, which is one of the main organs of the digestive system. It has all the digestive properties except for ingestion and defecation. This churns food with gastric juices. It helps to break down certain foods. It can absorb aspirin and alcohol. Those are the two drugs that it can absorb. It completes the digestion of protein. It continues the digestion of fats and carbs. And it stores food as a liquid that's called chyme, which is gradually released into the small intestine through the pyloric sphincter, which we can see is at the bottom of the stomach, right before the duodenum starts. Moving right along further into the small and large intestines, the small intestines is made up of the duodenum, the jejunum, and the ileum. And also this is where most of the digestion and absorption occurs. We saw some in the stomach, but here is where most of the digestion will occur through the 200 million microvilli per square millimeter of small intestines. This has brush border enzymes inside of it that complete the digestion of carbs and protein. Combined with the pancreatic juice, intestinal juice provides the liquid medium needed to further digest and absorb substances from the chyme. This figure here shows the segmentation that separates chyme and then pushes it back together, mixing it and providing time for digestion and absorption. Let's look further into chemical digestion and absorption here in the small intestines. We know this is the major site of chemical digestion and almost all absorption. Chemical digestion breaks large food molecules down into their chemical building blocks, which then can be absorbed through the intestinal wall and into the general circulation. The intestinal brush border enzymes and pancreatic enzymes are responsible for the majority of the chemical digestion. The breakdown of fat also requires bile. Most nutrients are absorbed by transport mechanism at the apical surface of enterocytes. Exceptions of this would include lipids, fat-soluble vitamins, and most water-soluble vitamins. But with the help of the bile salts and the lichen, the dietary fats are emulsified to form micelles, which carry the fat particles to the surface of the enterocytes. We see there the micelles can release their fats to diffuse across the cell membrane. The fats are then reassembled into triglycerides and mixed with other lipids and proteins into chylomicrons that can pass into lacteals. Other absorbed monomers travel from blood capillaries in the villus to the hepatic portal vein and then into the liver. We can see all this in the figure here. The digestion begins in the mouth and continues as food travels through the small intestines.